I've got a great recipe for you this time. This is a pear, vanilla, lemon cake, and it's served with pecan nut ice cream. But what I love about this cake is it's one of those you can serve as a dessert, and you can also serve it as a pudding. And it's actually got two layers because it's lovely sort of seasonal pears encrusted in a toffee mixture with cranberries. Then on top of that we're going to put a lovely sponge mixture. But modern day baking, because people don't have time today to go through lots of processes, and so I'm going to make this cake almost by the all-in-one method where everything goes into the bowl together when it comes to making the sponge. But we're starting off over here in the pan because we're going to make a great nice sort of toffee mixture. And in the pan I have 2 ounces of butter and 2 ounces of caster sugar. Turn on the temperature, bring it up to boiling point, and don't panic because this is going to turn from sugar and butter into the most beautiful toffee mixture. And look, with the high temperatures, it bubbles away there. You'll see it turn from a light caramel colour into a lovely golden brown. That's the stage you simply want to lift it off the heat and just set it aside. Be careful because it's really quite hot. I'm going to put into that now some pears, the best of the seasonal pears. These ones I've got that most beautiful, lovely red russet colour. It's entirely up to you if you want to peel them or not, but I'm going to peel these ones today. It does seem a pity, but we'll peel them, take the cores out of the centre, and then I'm going to use all those peelings. I'm not going to put them into the bin. I'm going to put those into my food disposal unit because it's a very quick, clean, efficient way of getting rid of sort of all the peelings that you have in your kitchen. Then I'm going to chop the pears in half and just leave them like that for a moment or two. And then just take these and put them into the toffee mixture with a nice rounded side down, right down into the toffee mixture. Be careful when you put them in because it really is quite hot. Leave that to sit there. It won't come to any harm. We're now going to make the sponge mixture that's going over the top of it. Now, cake making is one of those things that's great fun to do, only if you have time. And so I've come up here with a recipe that you can practically put everything into the bowl all at once. Sometimes when you come to make a cake and cream the butter and sugar together, you find that it can take ages, especially if you're going to do it by hand. So what I find is a great little tip is, with the steaming hot water tap, I can just run some hot water just round the outside of the bowl, which really helps the butter to soften in the bowl. And then look, when I come to cream this, it'll cream for me nice and quickly. Saves you minutes, saves you loads and loads of time in the kitchen. I say, just like my steaming hot water tap, it just helps me in so many things that I'm doing here. So we've got the softened butter, we've got the caster sugar. I'm going to add to that 3 eggs. Just taking the shells out, and again these shells, they'll go down into my food waste disposal unit. Don't be worried about putting shells in there. It will take lots more even robust things like bones and fish skins and what have you. So the eggs just slightly beaten, then into the bowl with the creamed butter and sugar, and in with the flour. I'm using cake making self-raising flour which has a raising agent in it, so I'm just going to put that all in almost at once going into that. And then just for a couple of minutes mix the entire mixture well together. Now there's lots of lovely flavours in this one. I'm going to add a little bit of lemon and I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla. But sometimes whenever you buy your lemons, you've got that sort of hard waxy coating on the outside of them. Again, another great use of your steaming hot water tap. With temperature up to 98 degrees, it'll just blast this off in a second. Just turn on the little button on the tap, hold it under the hot water, and there you are. It'll just wash that off. Just dry it well, and then just using your grater, just grate all that lovely zest off the lemon, so you're really getting the best of the flavour there. In with a few drops of vanilla essence. Love the smell of vanilla whenever it's cooking in the oven, like that. But there's another couple of ingredients you can add to this cake if you want. You can just make it with pears and toffee, but again, if you want to take this cake right through into Christmas time, cranberries are lovely, and all those lovely dried fruits that we're finding in the shop. Or occasionally you might even find a nice box of it still within its sell-by date in your cupboard, but they've maybe gone a little bit dry. So what you can do is just put them into your sieve and then back to your steaming hot water tap. Just turn on the tap, out comes the steaming hot water, I say up to 98 degrees, and just give them a good blast in below that hot water. It'll almost sort of reincarnate them, it'll plump them up, they'll get really nice and soft again. Give them a good shake and then just leave them to dry for a few moments. And then you can just scatter those into the cake, round the pears that are sitting in this nice toffee mixture. Or if you prefer to use fresh cranberries, you can do that. But of course, Fresh cranberries have a very limited shelf life in the shops, and we only seem to get them for a couple of months in the year. So that's a great little tip to use, or even at Christmas time with all your fruit when it comes to making your Christmas cake. So now we've got the cranberries in. A few nuts if you like, using pecan nuts. They're a lovely nut, lovely shape with a lovely flavour. Just scatter a few of those over the toffee mixture and around the pears. And then on top of that, we're going to put this lovely sponge mixture, so you're really getting the best of both worlds here. That nice mixture made by the all-in-one method. If your mixture you feel is a little bit stiff, you can add another tablespoonful of water to it, sort of lukewarm water this time, just to soften it up. But there you are, just spoon that over the top of the pears and the toffee, flatten it out slightly, and that's it, ready for the oven. Into the oven, middle shelf, 375 degrees Fahrenheit, that's about gas mark 5. This should take about 25 to 30 minutes to cook. And whenever it's ready, bring it out, just leave it to cool for a couple of minutes, and then just unmold it, turn it out onto a plate. And I'm going to serve this up with pecan nut ice cream. If you just warm your ice cream scoop below the steaming hot water tap just for a few seconds, and then look, just scoop the right down into the ice cream, you'll get these lovely shapes of ice cream. A real indulgent pear, vanilla and lemon cake served with pecan nut ice cream. Great for a nap for a treat at any time of the day. Underneath the video you can find the recipe, ingredients and method on how to make this dish yourself.